Okay, so in this video, what I'm doing is I'm doing a touch-up on a bed liner. We replaced that bedside, and so the bed liner and the rest of the bed stayed intact, whereas the side that we replaced obviously had no bed liner on it. So what we wanted to do is put down a bed liner that would match or be able to blend out into the bed liner that's already existing. The one that was on there, I'm not really sure what it was. It wasn't very heavy, so I'm assuming it's not a rhino liner. So what we went ahead and did is a cold urethane grade bed liner. This one is very similar to the Raptor pool made by U-POL. A couple of the big benefits to this one, in this case it was easier to do because it was going to blend out a little bit easier, being a similar texture to what was already in there. As well as for us, it's a lot easier because we don't have the equipment to do a hot bed liner like the rhino liners. I actually like this style of bed liner better because it tends to be a little bit glossier and have better texture than your rhino liners. It doesn't fade like the rubberized ones do. The drawback is it's not quite as durable. It's just not as thick, and it tends to get a little bit more brittle. You'll notice that this one will crack and scratch a lot easier than your regular rhino liners. The thing on my side though is they make an aerosol can version of it that's pretty easy to use and makes it quite easy to touch up. And so if you're somebody like me that doesn't haul a ton of heavy equipment around, it makes it a little easier to go around and touch it up when I do scratch it, and it looks good and lasts a long time. So that's one of the reasons I like it. But like I said in the video, what I'm doing is I'm showing how we can blend it out. What I did is I backmasked inside of the bed so that there was kind of a nice soft edge. And then what I'll do is after I'm done, I'll go back and I'll lift up that edge and just dust a little bit of texture across it. Just a couple of quick things to give you a heads up on how it works. You want to prep it with something heavy like 180 or 80 grit, so it has something good to bite to. And then on this one I put down a TranStar waterborne sealer. I like to use that one because it's a nice flat black, and so when I go ahead and put it down and come back to put my bed liner over it, the bed liner tends to cover it a lot better because it's already the same black. The other benefit is it tends to spray nice, and I like the way that it bites and holds and has a good build to it. So I went ahead, did my 180, and then I cleaned it up, masked it up the way that I wanted to. You'll notice that I use kind of like a duct tape around the edges. That's to kind of give it a little bit heavier lip right there inside of the jam, so you get a good edge right there where it's going to be something that's buttoned up in the jam. And then what I did is I sealed it. And you'll notice in the first coat of the bed liner, I put it on really nice and wet. It goes on almost runny, glossy. And then I waited for about 20 to 30 minutes to let it tack up really good before I come back and put that last coat on. And then when I put my last coat on, I'm really not even trying to get it to cover. All I'm trying to do is stand back, turn my air pressure up, and really just beat it on and get the texture that I'm looking for. Now that it's nice and shiny, I want that texture that's going to give me the grip and the look that I want. That's the other thing that I really like about this in particular liner is that it sprays nice. It's pretty thick, but it dries fast enough that you can get that kind of texture out of it as long as you wait good in between coats. So like I said, this is one of the better liners in my opinion. Obviously, if you're doing really heavy construction and it's a big work truck, you'll probably want something a little bit more rubberized. But for a regular truck, for somebody who's like me, just throw stuff in it every once in a while, it's a really good bed liner. If you guys have any questions or comments, go ahead and throw them at me. Let me know what you think. And yeah, that's the Raptor liner for us. Alright, this is the finished product. You can see a little bit of the texture. It's kind of hard to see in the video, but I really like the way that it turned out. Nice, bright, good sized texture. It covered really good, and it looks like it's going to match really nice.